lots of people come up with great ideas that never succeed in the real world, and this is why. These people do not measure outcomes of their changes. There's no way to tell for these people that implement them on how they are actually affecting the company, the process, and the system. You can solve this simply by tracking what it is that you are trying to solve. For example, if I notice that my team is taking way too long on a unit um, consistently, then it is time to implement a change. Instead of just implementing the change and being like, yeah, that's a great idea, that it's going to work, I'm going to begin to track the hours to tell what is actually changing, if it's even value added, or if it's just more of a hassle for the guys that are working on the unit. For example, I track my team's man hours spent on each unit. This not only tells me how the guys are doing, but it also allows for me to see what is going on in the units, what is possibly becoming an issue, what is driving these hours up, therefore driving cost up, and even frustration among the teammates. In our most recent project, we have seen a tremendous spike, very recently actually, in man hours spent on one unit. What did this tell me as a leader for my team? It told me, hey, something is different here compared to the other units, and something must be done about it. It allows for us to implement a change, signals us as management and leadership to implement a change to better the lives of our workers and also allow us to keep costs as low as possible and keep pushing units out of the door. This chart, known as a time control chart, or what I refer to as a time control chart, um, allows management to see how many hours are spent on each unit and will be able to tell the difference. Without tracking anything, without collecting data of any kind, we will never know if the changes that we implement or the system is winning or not. With collecting data and tracking hours in this instance, it allows us to see if any changes that we implement are working or even if there is any need for any changes. As you can see on this chart, we had one unit spike. What came after that spike is what helped the rest of the units continue to decrease and go back to our standard points, which on this chart is consistently declining and getting back into the control limits. After seeing this spike, I got with my team leads and we discussed, along with the team, what could have been the reasons for the spike. It was not to fuss at the team for allowing the spike to go up, but to find out why it went up so we can fix it. One of the causes that we discovered was that this unit was slightly different from the units before, and it will continue to be slightly different until the end of the project. The last 10 units on this project will be the same as this unit that spiked. The 10 units before are different. So, why does this unit being different cause a spike in man hours? The answer is simple. The team had a learning curve, as we all would, because they had never done a unit like this. While it was a few small changes, it had a major effect on the amount of time that it took to complete this one unit. The leads and I decided that the next few units would not be as severely increased because the team had officially learned and completely learned what is now different and how to do it properly. Now, as you can see, the spike is very drastic. We did not only say that it was this drastic because of this learning curve. We also got together and concluded that the reason for the spike, or another reason for the spike, was because of fatigue, and burnout among the team. The team has been asked to pull a lot of hours recently, which has a physical and mental toll on our team. Therefore, they will move slower over the same amount of time rather than as fast as they normally would. This is because they are tired. This also demonstrates the dangers of asking your employees to pull mandatory overtime over extended periods of time. But that's for another video. After discussing more issues that occurred with this unit and other causes that led to the spike in man hours, the team and I have implemented fixes, systematical fixes for these issues. Some of the issues were unavoidable, some of them not. For another example, oftentimes in meetings, someone will come up with some grand idea, and then the company, without any discussion further, will implement this idea. The idea fails, and nobody knows why. It must be the people's fault. I'm here to tell you that is completely and utterly wrong. The system failed, or the fix that was implemented failed, because there was no data tracking behind it. With data tracking, you would have been able to modify the fix or solution that you came up with and adjust it accordingly. Without this, no matter how great your idea is, you will not be able to adjust it to make it succeed. No one in this world that I know of can implement something into a system and it automatically be a perfect fix. And even if they do, the tracking will allow for us to know if something does go wrong with it in the future or how we can further improve it. Without data, you will never truly know what works and what doesn't, never know what needs to improve and what doesn't. If you're spending your time improving things that don't need to improve, then you're not focusing on the things that do. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.